Our 2025 Christmas and New Year's cruise aboard Celebrity Ascent included Christmas in Cartagena, a return to the Panama Canal, a magical sunset in Aruba, and Carol's 77th birthday. But every trip begins with one important question. What about JD? We left her with Adriana, where she quickly found a new friend and began what looked like a 2-week spa vacation. Seeing her happy made it much easier for us to leave home and begin another adventure together. Grizzly picked us up for our ride to the Atlanta airport, which is a much calmer way to begin a vacation than fighting traffic ourselves. At the Delta Sky Club, my Vietnam veteran hat led to an unexpected conversation. Congressman Rich McCormick thanked me for my service and gave me one of his commemorative coins. We talked briefly about my daughter and her years working on the floor of the House of Representatives. He had arrived in Congress after her time there, but it was still a memorable start to the trip. The flight to Fort Lauderdale was comfortable. The hotel was less memorable, and that is probably enough said about that. The next morning, our scheduled Uber arrived right on time, and embarkation went smoothly. Our home for the cruise was Celebrity Suite 11100, the forwardmost suite on the starboard side. It had a separate bedroom, a roomy balcony, and a remarkable view of the bridge wing. We were close enough to watch the officers and crew at work, especially when the ship entered or left port. Indu, our waiter, took excellent care of us in Lumini, the suite-only restaurant. His assistant's name was Indra. Indra was very helpful and had a great sense of humor. Sail away was delayed almost 3 hours while supplies were loading, but we were already aboard, eating well and settling in. I had a delicious Cobb salad, and Carol had a double lobster roll with no bun. Yummy! The first sea days gave us time to settle into the rhythm of the ship and enjoy the ship, dress for the holidays. Christmas Eve included the officers' gathering, the production show bridges, and a holiday spectacular show. Captain Tassos also gave a funny and informative presentation about navigating the Panama Canal and its newer locks. By then, we were more than ready for the main event. Christmas Day found us docked in Cartagena, Colombia. We walked through the small animal sanctuary at the port, where turtles and colorful birds were all around us. The monkeys we remembered from an earlier visit must have had other Christmas plans. After our walk, we returned to the ship and watched Cartagena fall behind us as Christmas Day continued aboard Ascent. Back aboard, the Martini Bar Flare Show brought a little extra energy to our Christmas evening. Meanwhile, back home, JD was having a Christmas celebration of her own, complete with pajamas and reindeer antlers. The next morning was Panama Canal Day. We were up early for sunrise and our approach to the canal. The original locks were completed in 1914. The newer, wider locks opened in 2016. Since Ascent is a large edge-class ship, we entered through the newer locks. On our earlier cruise in 2024, we made a complete transit through the original canal. This time, we sailed into Gatun Lake and later returned toward the Caribbean side. We had an extraordinary view from both our balcony and from the front of the ship as the massive lock system slowly opened and closed as it raised and guided the ship. We had now experienced both versions of the Panama Canal. On a beautiful day, aboard a favorite ship, we had turned another dream into a memory. The following sea day was quiet and relaxing. We played Rumacube in the retreat lounge. On our schooner excursion, what began as a peaceful sail gradually became a rather lively evening on the water. The drinks may have helped, but the weather, the open sea, the colors in the sky, and the sunset were genuinely beautiful. As daylight faded and the schooner lights came on, it became one of the best excursions of the trip. The next day brought us to Curacao. Willemstad looked beautiful from the waterfront, although our trolley tour and the evening's Tay Lewis show were not among our favorite moments. Fortunately, the best day of the cruise was still ahead. December 30th was Carol's 77th birthday. She had asked me not to make a big deal out of it, and technically I didn't. I let Levins and Jackie do that. While Carol and I were away at a presentation, they transformed our suite with balloons, lights, flowers, decorations, and a cake. Carol had expected very little fanfare, so walking into the decorated room was a genuine surprise. That evening, we celebrated at Eden, our favorite specialty restaurant. Carol and I each ordered one of Eden's enormous crab cakes, and then ordered another one. Some birthdays deserve sensible restraint. This was not one of them. After dinner, the Eden staff arrived with a birthday cake and sang to Carol.
Happy birthday to you. All the best.
After all the places Carol and I have visited together, it was especially meaningful to celebrate her 77th birthday aboard a ship we both love. The decorations and dinner were wonderful, but the real celebration was having another adventure together. New Year's Eve was another relaxing sea day. Carol and I enjoyed drinks at Cafe Al Baccio, and I attended an on-board class in martini making. We also caught a magic show that afternoon, adding a little extra entertainment before dinner. We are not late-night party people, so we did not stay up until midnight. We did, however, enjoy dinner in Lumini, a Happy New Year dessert, and the required silly hats. New Year's Day brought us to Perfect Day at Coco. We arrived early at the beach club and claimed a spot beside the infinity pool. We swam, relaxed in the sunshine, and enjoyed an excellent lunch surrounded by palms and tropical greenery. By early afternoon, the heat sent us back toward Ascent. As we left Coco behind, the island had lived up to its name. It had been a perfect day at Coco. Disembarkation is always the least enjoyable part of a cruise. Our trip home was easy, and Grizzly was waiting in Atlanta to complete the journey. The following day, we picked up JD from Adriana. She had enjoyed 2 weeks of playing with other dogs, but we were all happy to be together again. This cruise had its minor frustrations, but they were far outweighed by the experiences. Christmas in Cartagena, the Panama Canal, an unforgettable Aruba sunset, Captain Tassas humor, Carol's birthday surprise, and a perfect day at Coco. That was the real gift of this trip. Not simply the places we visited, but the memories Carol and I made together. And, as always, here's to more adventures ahead.